Cuba, it's me. Welcome to episode 317 of the W.I.L.L.I.W show, which stands for Wrestling is Life. Life is Wrestling. Now, I've been doing this series that I started a couple weeks ago. I'm going through every promotion in Ontario that is currently active in alphabetical order and giving them a little profile, a little spotlight, finding out what I can about them, and just trying to make people aware of their product, and then also hearing from the viewers and see what they have to say in order to educate myself and just put everybody out there. But I think I've done it wrong, because when I said alphabetical order, I've been going through, I have this one list, and then there's this one list on Wikipedia, but it's not up to date because there's a lot of older federations that aren't even active in it. And I was on to the C's, and I did Chaos for Canines, C4, and another one, I apologize, I don't remember. But I should have done Canadian Wrestling Federation, CWF, first, because they are C and then A, so they should technically be for Chaos for Canines, because Chaos is C and then H. So it's still going to be in alphabetical order as far as the A's, then the B's, then the C's, and I'll try my best, but sometimes I have to do this and jump back a little bit. So today is our episode on CWF, the Canadian Wrestling Federation. And now there's a couple different things. I went on to the website, which is www.cwfwrestling.ca, and then I also used this one Wikipedia page. I also used Cage Match, and some things say different things. The one Cage Match says that it was started in 1995 by Frank Pichet, and 96 Bob Cowan, and then ever since 1996 and until 2011, it was Ernie Todd. But if you go to the CWF website, it says that Ernie Todd was the founder in 1995, and he sold it to Frank Rickman in 2011. So it depends. I'm going by the CWF website because it is their company, so that's the facts they want to put out there, then they have every right to. So as far as I know, it started in Manitoba with Ernie Todd. At one point, Ernie Todd became the NWA president. And they probably do more shows a year than any other company in Ontario. They do tours, and they go to not just in Ontario, but they do a lot of shows in Ontario as well. But they do tours where they're wrestling every single day of the week, where most people are just like either once a week or once a month, or sometimes 2 or 3 a weekend. So most promotions at the most may get like 5 to 6 shows a month at the most. Whereas CWF is doing like 6 to 7 a week on their tours, and they do like a fall tour, a summer tour, a winter tour. They have a winter tour that's actually starting up in a week or so, not very much longer, maybe next week, a week or two. I've been getting different reports from different people. So they're currently based out of St. Catharines, Ontario. They have some great shows there. They had Resolution 2017, and what a show that was. It was like in a huge arena. They bring stars in from all over the globe, and they had like it advertised on a billboard, and they put a lot of money into it, and it was a tremendous show. And yeah, I've seen some highlights of it. I was very impressed. From what I see on their website, they didn't say anything about champions, but the Cage Match says the heavyweight champion of CWF is Jesse Bieber, and I've seen that as well because they have an upcoming bout, the CWF champion versus NWX champion. So I know it is in fact Jesse Bieber, but I'm not sure if they have like a women's belt or a tag team or like a secondary belt. I was only able to see the one championship. And so if you go on their website, it says that they are now available on Fight TV, Fight spelled F-I-T-E TV, and they also had Rex Atkins actually did a documentary called The Ice Road Wrestlers from one of their tours that's on YouTube, and I love this. I loved everything except for the silly pizza episode, but other than that, it was just really well done. I got tears in my eyes when they all chipped in to get Shadow some money or whatever. It's just really cool, different dynamic. It's different than your other wrestling documentaries, because most wrestling documentaries are just backstage stuff and interviews, where this one is like the traveling, being on the road, and they go to places that are not accessible except for not all the places, but a lot of the places that they go are only accessible by plane or winter roads. So they can be in some very discreet locations, and 90% of the shows that they do are on First Nations land. I was actually, speaking for myself, privileged to go on one of their tours back in, it was around 2003, 2004, and we drove to Winnipeg, and then we met up with the rest of the crew that were going to go that weren't from Ontario. We met Ernie Todd, we met Kerry Brown, and then we drove to Frog Lake, Saskatchewan. We did a show there. We did a couple shows in Alberta. We went to like northern BC, way out there. Like, this is the craziest part to me. Like, they were protesting some logging that was going on their land, and so they were like protecting their land. They'd had watchmen out with guns and whatnot. So when we rolled up to this north, I can't remember the name of it, this town in northern BC, very secluded place. They greeted us with guns, but then when they found out we were the company that was coming to entertain them, then they were very gracious. And man, it was just a tremendous time doing that kind of stuff. And they do a lot of, this is what really hits close to home for me. They do a lot of not only family-friendly events, but I remember when I was on the tour, Ernie Todd would go and speak to the First Nations, like the kids in their schools, and teach them about like anti-bullying and suicide prevention and positive life choices, say no to drugs and that kind of stuff. And they continue to do that to this day and spread an amazing message in these communities where some of the places, they don't get a lot of entertainment up there. So the wrestlers are, well, they're already a big deal, but they're even more of a bigger deal than places where TV's available everywhere and they get lots of live events and stuff. So I'm a big fan of CWF. They do some great things, and like some of the wrestlers that work for them, they wrestle more matches than anybody else in Ontario, because most of the people that are currently active wrestlers in Ontario that are doing well, they're not like a once or twice a month kind of guy like me. The ones that are wrestling every weekend, they're getting a Friday or Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, or they're at least working once a weekend. The people that go on these tours are doing like 10 matches a week. So that's like 5 months worth of wrestling in a week. So they learn way faster and just get a lot more experience being on the road doing these kind of matches. So I was going through the website. They also have CWF Shop Zone. They have lots of gear available. And I'm promoting Ontario promotions, but if you're anywhere in Canada, you can order these through the website, and you can also book them for your town if you want to have them come there and do one of these tours or whatnot. And so they also had a Hall of Fame section. I believe the Hall of Fame was announced at Wrestlelution 2017. And please, if I'm wrong on any of this, please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to learn myself, but I'm just putting out there stuff that I have read. The internet is not always correct, but the Hall of Fame consists of Ernie Todd, who it says was the founder, and then Quan Chang, a great wrestler who did so many tours for them over the years and has been wrestling for like over 20, maybe 23 years now. And Michael Collin, who is a great fan and always supports not only CWF, but plenty of the promotions out there. He's always buying wrestlers' merchandise, and he's always taking pictures for the fans and giving them for the wrestlers, I guess, and for the fans too to see. And it's just a tremendous company. I know the owner, Frank Rickman, quite well. He helped me tremendously, did a lot for me personally in my career, and I always hold a debt of gratitude to them. But this show is also about the viewers, so let's hear what you have to say. Have you ever been to a CWF show? Have you ever wrestled or performed or been a manager or referee or gone on one of their tours or anything like that? What did you like? What did you not like about the company? And always remember, on the W.I.L.L.I.W show, like or you get a leg drop, comment or you get a clothesline, subscribe or you get a suplex. I'm your host, Elian Habanero. I love wrestling. Cuba.